everybody, welcome to another edition of Toddster's Magical Mystery Review. I'm your host Toddster, and today we're going to take a look at this wonderful album, Paul McCartney's Ram. Well, actually, Paul and Linda McCartney's Ram. It came out 21st of May 1971 on Apple Records, and this is a wonderful album. So around the time when Paul made this album, of course he was going through a bit of a difficult time. He was suing the other Beatles, to dissolve the partnership, and the press, was labeling him as the man who broke up the Beatles and all that rubbish. But when it came to making this album, his second solo album, he, Linda, and the kids moved to New York for a while and record the album. And so he brought in Denny Sywell, drummer, who would later help form Wings later that year, and a couple guitarists, David Spinoza and Hugh McCracken. I think that's what their name is. And half of these songs are credited to Paul, and half of them are credited to Paul and Linda, which ended up ATV suing them for some odd reason. But nonetheless, I know that when this came out, the critics just thrashed it, but in retrospect, it's a pretty awesome album. I really like this album, and so we'll go through the songs, and we'll start off with "Too Many People," the blistering rocker, which I've got the notes here, which was Paul's little attack on John and Yoko. Too many people preaching practices and all that, and that's how John wrote "How Do You Sleep" on his Imagine album. But nonetheless, it's a great little rocker. And then it goes into "Three Legs," which another song I like, and yet another song another song about his fallout with the other Beatles, but using like little clever metaphors, Yeah, it's a great bluesy yet witty number. And then we go into the somewhat title song, "Ram On," which is just Paul playing the ukulele, which he used to carry around New York, and it sort of like drove the taxi drivers a bit, just playing along the ukulele and all that. Then it goes into "Dear Boy." Now, some people thought it was another attack song to John. Even John thought it was an attack as well. But no, this was Paul wrote this as a little word to Linda's ex-husband, and great layers of harmonies on this one. Wonderful song. And then it goes into the Uncle Albert Admiral Halsey. Now this came out as a single in America and became Paul's first solo #1 hit single. And some people like it and some people don't. My mom hated this song for some odd reason, but I really like it. Sort of like picks up the Abbey Road vibe. Doing the stitching the unfinished pieces into one song, so to speak. And it's an awesome song. And then we end the first side with "Smile Away." A great bluesy shuffle, with some nonsense lyrics, and it's a good rocker, but yet a little bit repetitive. Okay, so then we flip the record to Heart of the Country. Now this is more of a folky tune, and yeah, it's a great toe tapper. Paul wrote this about his Scottish his life on the Scottish farm, and yeah, it's a great highlight of the album. And then it goes into Monkberry Moon Delight. Now this is another somewhat nonsensical tune, which his kids help inspire. They usually call milk monk. It's a great screamer, Yeah. So then we go into Eat at Home. Now it's another good song, sort of a Buddy Holly type rocker, and Paul says just about home cooking, although he probably meant something else. Let's go have a shag, if you know what I mean. Then it goes into Long Haired Lady. Now this is more gentle ballad, even though Linda sort of sings out of tune a bit. Yeah, it's a bit too long though, but it's okay number. And then we go into a reprise of Ram On, just almost another minute of the ukulele and all that. And then we finally end the album with Backseat of My Car. Now this came out as a single in England, and Paul sort of tried this out with the other Beatles during the Let It Be sessions, but of course was rejected. But yeah, it's sort of a mixture of like a piano ballad and with sort of upbeat rock passages and in between and all that. Yeah, it's an awesome song. I really like it. So that's the album. But we'll take a look at the single that came out during this time, which came out on the '93 reissue, and Another Day and Oh Woman Oh Why, and yeah, Another Day. This was Paul's first solo single, and yeah, it's a great song with some sort of reminiscent of Eleanor Rigby. About a sad woman's everyday life, Yeah, it's a great song. And then the B-side, Oh Woman, Oh Why. Oh wow, what a screamer this is. And yeah, it's an awesome bluesy rocker, which Paul fires some gunshots while recording this song. Sort of, Whoa woman, oh why did you grab that gun and all that? But yeah, that was an awesome single. So let's talk about the artwork. How Paul made the collage, made the artwork out of Linda's photos, and as you can see, Paul holding, taking care of the ram, and yet the backside is pretty interesting. It's sort of like two beetle bugs, sort of fighting. Sort of like give you a clue of what he and John was up to at that time, and yet it came out with as a gatefold. So here we go. Take a look at this. Yeah, they're pretty awesome, and yeah. So this is this is pretty awesome artwork, and so what do I say about this album? Well, as I said, this is an awesome album, and it's a great achievement, and this sort of leads the door of putting Wings together. As I said, Denny Sidewell was played on the album, and this is definitely one of my top 3 favorite Paul albums. And as far as ranking, I'll give this 4.5 Pauls out of 5. Yeah, so there you have it. Paul and Linda Ram. So, my name is Toddster. You just watched another magical mystery review. Join me again next time. Until then, toodaloo.